development, trying to get this shit right. Right. I know it take a little minute, but you gon' have your time.
Boom. What's poppin', y'all? Back with another episode of Don Talk Podcast. It's your boy, AK the Don. Yo, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to me. Sorry, I'm gonna shout y'all out, but shout out to me, cause I did that. Yeah, it took me. That first episode I recorded back in July, and before that I put out a video in June saying that I was gonna come back with the podcast, and then I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that it's out now, that feels great. So I got to start off with that. But shout out to y'all, for supporting it and everything. I appreciate that. That does mean a lot. Especially with the fact that I've been, it took me so long to get back into it, right? But we're here now. And again, I was watching that video and I was like, dang, I'm saying a lot of and I was like, oh no, we can't do that. So yeah, I feel better. That was my first time recording in over a year. So I'm glad I'm back to a space where I feel more comfortable and I'm pausing intentionally instead of just trying to fill the space. So yeah, man, shout out to you guys. Thank you again. I'm always blessed and grateful to have you guys tune in and support to any capacity. But yeah, man, I got some stuff to get off my chest today. So one of the biggest things for me is, obviously we're in that age of social media, right? But the biggest thing is feeling like you have to keep up with everybody, or you have to compete with people in a sense, right? So you're seeing other people do things and you're like, oh dang, I want to do that. And for me, one of the biggest things is taking trips, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If you got it, you got it. If that's what you feel like you need to do. But my thing is more focused on if you can't afford it. Two, if you're doing it because you're like, oh dang, well, all these people are going on vacation and I want a vacation too. Some of y'all say y'all need a vacation from work, but do the bare minimum. Why do you need a vacation from doing the bare minimum? Right? Or some of you guys have problems that's like, okay, I just want a vacation to get away from everything. You still got to come back to your problems at the end of the day. So what are we really talking about? So what bothers me is why, that's what I want to understand. Why is it so important to take vacations or feel like you have to keep up with social media? Because a lot of it, I feel like, isn't even really, and I talked about this last season, a lot of stuff isn't really your thought process. It's someone else's thought process that you saw and you were like, oh dang, that's kind of, I like that. And then you adopted it and kept it, right? And now you're reshaping it, reframing it to be your own. But hey, that's just my opinion, right? But I think that's the root of it, because we as a culture feel like, okay, yeah, I need to go on a trip. Or, you can travel. I mean, I feel like it's also, there's two sides to it, because some people like to travel when they're young to get all the stuff out the way before kids and what have you, which makes sense. Other people, well, for me, I feel like it's better to save up the money and you can travel when you're older and you're more financially stable. So you're not working, you're broke when you pay for the job. I mean, when you pay for the trip, you have a little bit of money to spend on the trip, and then you're broke when you come back from the trip. So to me, that's why I'm like, I don't necessarily want to do that. If I got it, then by all means. But if I don't got it, why am I spending money on a vacation and I don't have it, and now I'm putting myself in either debt or like in a bad position to where I can't really enjoy myself before the trip, during the trip, or after the trip. That's hustling backwards to me. But yeah, people gonna do what they do, and you can't fault them. My boy Mondo sent me a video the other day, and it was like, this is how he sees the world. It's like, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Some people, and we'll call people out and be like, nah, they know what they do. No, they don't. No, they don't. And this isn't like a religious thing. I can see how it's kind of coming off like that, but no, it's just like I don't know. This is kind of a segue into like, not taking things personal, right? Because these are, I have my own thoughts and stuff about how people operate and stuff like that. But again, some people just do things because they're programmed to do it from social media. But again, at the end of the day, they don't really know what they're doing. They're just kind of eating up what they're being served at face value and not really like reflecting on stuff. So yeah, I think that's a big thing for me. But and I'm not one to say like I'm better than anybody else, because I'm not the best with my money and stuff like that. But I feel like I do think a lot more than most people. But I don't want to put myself in a position to where now I'm like struggling. So that's a big thing for me. And I don't know, again, at the end of the day, it's people gonna do whatever they want to do. Like I said, they got it, they can do whatever they want. They don't got it and they still want to do it. That's on them. They're the ones that got to deal with the consequence. I can't, and I don't take anything personal anymore. Like it, yeah, I have thoughts on it, but at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter to me. It's not affecting me. I'm not gonna die, like, based on their decision or whatever. Like, no, I don't care. And there was a situation really where, for most of the time, most of the interactions that I was having were like, they were not necessarily negative, but it was kind of like a little negative. There was always like something there, but me, I was just like, yeah, I don't care. Like I'm not at that point. Like I'm emotionally intelligent. I'm aware of what's going on. Like I don't need to be trying to compete with nobody and not like, bruh, get out of here with that. Miss me with that. But then it got to a point where I was like, dang, you know what? I do gotta speak up, because it's hard to just sit there and let people try to play in your face or like try to talk to you any kind of way and think that it's cool. Like, no. So yeah, I don't know. Like I do my best not to take things personally, but at the same time, you can't let people just play in your face or treat you any kind of way because they think that's what makes them feel good about themselves. Like, okay, cool. Like, if that's what makes you feel good about yourself, cool. I guess that, I don't know what the hell that was. I think that was Siri. I must have activated something. But, yeah, man, I don't know. That's the bigger thing is like, don't be caught up in what other people got going on, because what other people got going on doesn't mean it's necessarily for you too. Like, everybody has their own pathway, their own lifestyle and stuff. Focus on your own lifestyle. You got to build your own narrative. You can't just be going off of what you see on social media and being like, oh, well, yeah, that's how I want to live my life like that. No, be your own person. Like, individuality is still cool. It's cool to know yourself as a person and to operate in that frequency. And to, whew, that's ooh. You see, that's one of the reasons why I need a co-host, because I feel like I be touching on some stuff and I can't always explain or express it the way I want to, even though I can because it's my platform. But at the same time, like, you see, it's conversations like that need to be had. So, yeah, I'm saying all that to say, just be you. Don't be worrying about what other people got going on and stuff like that. Especially a lot of stuff with celebrities and what have you. And one of the biggest things that just recently happened, a lot of people were speaking their mind on Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. And I'm gonna give my 2 cents on it, but this is really like I'm after that. After this, I don't have nothing else to say. I don't agree with anybody who speaks negatively about a certain race or culture, what have you. Don't You don't have to be an asshole. Sometimes when people say things, it might be facts. You might not like it because it's like, damn, you're kind of calling me out. So it might be facts, but just because you disagree with someone, that don't mean they deserve to die or anything. Like if there's a racist person out there who really hates me because of my skin and who I am as a person, well, no, my skin, like they don't know me as a person. If they just hate me based on my external qualities and how I look, okay, yeah, like I'm fuck you too. Excuse my language, but like like no, I'm not gonna deal with none of that. But I'm not gonna wish them dead or nothing like that. Like it is what it is. Like that person, that's how they think. Yeah, that's sad for them. It is what it is. Like I said earlier, forgive them for they know not what they do. But we're gonna leave that right there. But just because you have a platform to speak on things doesn't mean you always have to give your opinion on stuff, which is also something that bothers me. Like you don't need to speak on everything and whatever. Like, I don't know. I just don't like when people feel like they have to give their opinion and 2 cents all the time. Everybody has an opinion. That doesn't mean that it's needed for any situation. Just keep your thoughts to yourself. Like, but again, like, if you have racist thoughts or whatever, like, I won't even say racist, but like, if you have certain thoughts about a certain culture and stuff, yeah, I can't say I won't be, if something happens to you, it's like, it kind of is what it is. Like, you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, something's gonna happen, whatever. But at the end of the day, people are still people. Murder is bad, right? So I'm not condoning nothing. I'm not condoning either side. But all I know is that you don't have to kill nobody for nothing, like because you don't agree with them. That's, yeah. You don't kill someone because you disagree with them. That doesn't make sense to me, right? People are still people. That man was a father and a husband. He was a son, possibly a brother, right? But now his wife and kids are robbed of having him around for the rest of their lives. But again, I don't know. You just don't need to be saying whatever. And some people might take offense and they might do something. But that being said, because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean you need to kill them. To me it's that simple, but everybody's different. So I'll leave that there. But to move forward, there was also I think it was yesterday, there was a public lynching of a young black boy, 21-year-old black boy in Mississippi, Trey Reed. So it's stuff like that where it's the same uproar that was had for Charlie Kirk and his beliefs, right or wrong, right? Whatever side you're on, right or wrong, it's an uproar. But there was a hanging of a black 21-year-old male at a college in Mississippi, and the same level of rage and everything isn't there. And I think that's a problem that we have as a people because it kind of shows, all right, like what bothers us and what does, like, yeah, that probably bothers people, but the same energy that they were putting towards pissing on Charlie Kirk or whatever is not, it's not the same energy that people are having towards finding out that a 21-year-old male, a black male, was found hanging. Like that's, but again, I'm not into politics or like I'm not like an activist, whatever. So, but I do watch people. I watch people's habits. So I don't know. But yeah, man, to kind of move a little past this, right? Like what I was saying before about not worrying about what everybody else is doing with celebrities and stuff like that. More importantly, like that was the focus I really wanted to get to. But celebrities, man, this everybody just so obsessed with what they got going on and stuff. And it's like that's the crazy part, man. How you so worried about someone who doesn't know you more than your own family and friends? That's backwards, huh? You saying happy birthday to a celebrity who won't even acknowledge you instead of saying happy birthday to someone you actually know. That's so, I don't know. And just to be like obsessed with what everything that they have going on. And it's different like when you're talking about tours and dropping, like if it's artists and stuff, like dropping music and all that. But man, just to be so up to date on what they're doing, like to me, that's one of the reasons why I don't like reality TV shows, because it's like, why? And this is just me. Like this isn't like this is just me. Like I don't watch reality TV because I don't care about someone else's life that much to where I need to be watching what they're doing or updated what they're doing. Right? Like specifically those like Keeping Up with the Kardashians or what else? Housewives, like one of the Real Housewives and stuff like, bruh, man, what we Love and Hip Hop, what? And that stuff is so bad, like for the community, because I don't know, it's just the drama, the dramatization is like crazy, because a lot of what's on the show is just like drama centered, so it's focusing on mostly negative aspects and stuff like that. So that's what we adopt in the culture as important. It's like, no, it's not. That's one of the reasons why when people, oh, men ain't shit, women ain't shit, bruh, you have a track record. You go after a poor significant, not even a poor significant other, but like the people that you go after are red flags, and you don't pay attention to it. So you keep attracting red flags, or you keep running after red flags. But I digress. You know, this is my platform, and I feel like this is the stuff that kind of bothers me in a sense, because we as a culture let it get to this point, and a lot of people aren't taking the responsibility or the accountability to say, yeah, this is part of the problem. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think there definitely has to be some sort of shift, hopefully soon, because I feel like I'm speaking just for black people now. Like black people, the culture is going downhill. Um, just in turn, like, well, really, a lot of it is like, music and the artists that's coming out, like, and I will say, like, this is one of the things that I for sure heard Charlie Kirk talk about, was like in the rap music, like in the rap game, there's a lot of artists now who are talking, and I feel like it's kind of always been like that, but most rappers aren't talking about staying with one person or like, being an outstanding citizen or model person. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always about murder, drugs, infidelity, like shit like that, and that's the stuff that's like poisoning our community. But I'm not the one to have a conversation with that on. Like that's all I can say on it because that's all I know. That's all the research I'm willing to do on my own. But I don't know. I just think that that's the stuff that needs to be said. But who am I? I'm just I'm just a guy. But yeah, no, for sure. Man, just worry about you. Like the same energy that people take to learn and obsess over like their favorite celebrities and stuff and be so up to date in their lives and know exactly what's going on, you could be taking that same amount of energy and putting it into learning yourself, working on yourself, learning who you are as a person, because a lot of people don't know themselves, like really know themselves without other people or without like external things. Like, do you know who you are as a person? And that's something that I think is important, and like we really need to reflect. Who are you as a person? Me, I can't say for sure because I feel like I'm always learning more about myself. But for right now, I'm a 28-year-old Afro-Caribbean male. I can tell myself like I'm not an extrovert. I'm definitely introverted, right? I prefer not to be around a lot of people. I prefer to stay home, just kind of do my own thing. I don't have FOMO. Like I'm okay missing out on stuff. I have no problem with it. And I promise you, you will not get me. It doesn't matter who it is. My friends went to celebrate my boy for his birthday. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Save, because you my dog. But I did feel bad. I was like, damn, like I can't go. But I'm not like. It's good to see all my friends and stuff together. I loved it. But I'm not gonna be like, dang, I wish I was there. I couldn't go. That's a part of life. But again, I love it. I love that I got to see all my friends together, and that was a beautiful moment. Seeing my childhood best friend with my college friends and like it blew my mind, but I loved it, and I was like, whoa, this is like when your worlds collide in a sense. Holy crap. Like back in March, I don't even think I talked about this in the first episode, but my family met my girlfriend's family, and I was so nervous for a long time because it's like, holy crap, like this is actually something real. And that was scaring the hell out of me. But it happened. It's fine. They actually loved each other. They got along very well. And I was like, again, it's weird. I don't see my siblings drink, but I saw both of them drink. I saw my sister get drunk. And I was like, what? I was lost for words. Like, holy shit. But it all worked out. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good thing when you know who you are, when you're comfortable, not just in your skin, but in who you are as a person. When you're confident in yourself and you don't need external validation, right? I don't need anything from anybody, but I feel pretty confident, you know. I feel confident in who I am as a person. So yeah, I think that might be all I got for y'all. But yeah, that felt good. I feel like I definitely had to get that off my chest. Um, but thank you guys again for tuning back into Dawn Talk Podcast. More to come for sure. I'm working on doing a few more episodes. So this for sure will be the last season. And it's going to be a few episodes. It's not going to be as long as the normal seasons, which are like 12 to 15-ish episodes. It might be maybe 10, maybe less. Who knows? But yeah, I told my friend because she texted me. She was like, the last season, like, I was like, yeah, I feel like I've gotten to that point where I've done what I wanted to do, what I initially set out to do back in 2018, 2019, right? That was 6 years ago. 6, 7 years, 6, 7, sorry. Yeah, 6 years ago, like, and for me to be here right now, I know that I've come so far, and I'm just proud of myself. And it feels good when other people tell me like, oh, like, congrats, you're doing so. It, like, I always appreciate that. But it feels better when I tell myself, you did that, and I'm proud of myself. The conversations I have with myself are healthy conversations, right? And that's what a lot of people, a lot of people don't get to that point where they can have healthy conversations with themselves, right? A lot of it is negative and, like, what we've learned, especially during those teenage years. But, like, it hits different when you speak to yourself a certain kind of way. When you speak life into yourself, unmatched. But that's all I got for y'all. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all. Super grateful, always thankful. And yeah, man.
I know you want to spend some time with me. I know you want to take this ride with me. Please, please. I know you want to spend some time.